As opposed to cross, OH-F2L looks and functions more or less the same as F2L with two hands. The only differences are that some skills from 3x3 solving are emphasized even more when you're doing F2L one-handed. Let's go over what it looks like when I do OH-F2L, and while I'm doing that, I'll explain my thought process and how I think you should approach different situations. So, I just did a 3x3 scramble and then solved the cross. And now this is going to be my situation to show you F2L. So first thing is that whenever it's possible, it's generally a good idea to use R and U moves, the basic OH moves, in order to solve your F2L pairs. And there's not really anything we can do for that except for this pair. So that one's actually easy to solve. I just move over my edge and then insert the pair. And then I've got a few options. I've got this pair, or I've got this pair. This would be nice two-handed, but it's a lot of moves. And generally, I want to avoid that with one hand and do something that's a little bit less heavy on the move count. And then that's why I would do this pair. So, here is another key thing about OH-F2L. So I'm going to start off the same as I would on 3x3. So I've gotten as far as I can with just R and U moves, and now I need to do L moves in order to solve this pair. Some people get around this by doing like a Y2 and then solving the pair, but what you can do instead that's a lot more efficient is do a Z rotation like this in order to solve your pairs on the left with R and U moves. And this is crucial to OH solving. And so that's what I would do in that situation. So next I've got this pair or this pair. I'm probably going to do, I'm going to do this one. And this one, I could do a keyhole thing, but I'm going to do this nice F2L thing, which just so happened to set this up really nicely as well. And so now I could really cube rotate either way. It doesn't really matter for the last pair. So I'll just cube rotate and solve that pair. And that's how I do F2L on that solve. Okay, here is my second example. I'm done with cross again. And once again, there's nothing that excellent. But the first thing that I see is actually I've got this pair already connected, and I'm just going to do that first. But I'm going to have to cube rotate for it. I'm going to go from this angle, and once again, do a Z rotation, solve the pair, and Z rotate back. And now I've got this pair, which I would have to cube rotate for, this pair, which I'd have to cube rotate for, or this one, which I wouldn't. So even though you might see this first in a regular solve, this is the best option because you can do it without cube rotating, and cube rotating is generally harder one-handed than it is with two hands. So I'm going to solve that pair first. And while I'm doing that, I'm tracking this pair, and I know that I'm going to have this case. And here I'm going to do a bit of a smart cube rotation to make this next pair easier. While I'm solving this, I'm going to cube rotate, so I'm solving this on the left, which means this will be solved on the right. And that leaves me with this situation. And actually, this leads to another key point in OH-F2L, which is edge orientation. So I could just solve my pair like that, but that would leave me with a dot OLL, which is bad enough with two hands, but with one hand it's just death, honestly. And what you can do instead is do a different solution in a different way that will orient some edges. So I can do that by cube rotating here and then lining it up like that to solve. And then now I've got an oriented edge. I can insert the pair. I've got my oriented edges, and that's how I'd approach F2L in that case. Okay, here is the third situation. From this angle, there's not really much. It's actually quite rough. This might be a good option. This might, but there's nothing that excellent because every pair has at least one piece in a slot. I might actually connect these two like that and then solve that, and then I'm going to look ahead for this, and I know I'm going to have to do this. Here I'm going to do another smart cube rotation, so I'm solving everything on the left, even though I will have to cube rotate again, because now I've got both of these edges are misoriented. But what I can do here is rotate here, and now I'm not going to have to cube rotate again to solve my F2L. And then I can solve this pair. And then that leaves me with this. And I solve it like so. And that's how I do F2L in that situation. So as you can see, a lot of OH F2L is thinking about how things affect your other pairs and making decisions based on what will minimize cube rotations and orient edges and things like that. Okay, here I've got a pretty interesting situation. I've got not really good pairs. I've got this flipped, I've got these two which are nice, and then I've got this. So I'd probably start with these two, and I'm actually going to do this pair first and then this one. It's hard to really explain, but I know from experience that when I'm done with this pair, it will give me a better situation for this pair than I would then if I did this and then what I would get with this. So when I do that, then I've got this, and now I've got this kind of mess. So I'm actually going to, let's see, I'm going to do some sort of neat EO tricks here as well. So I've got this I need to solve, and I can do keyhole with this, and at the same time bring this edge down here, so then I will orient all my edges. So if I do this, then I will solve this like that. Now this is in its slot, and here I can do wide U prime and then insert this edge into the back. And then I am done with F2L with all of my edges oriented, which sets me up for COLL, which then gives me a U perm. Okay, here is another situation where there isn't much that's great, but we'll work with it anyway. So the first thing I see is this pair, which needs to go into here, and I will have to cube rotate for it. But I'm going to do some more EO stuff by taking this edge out while I set up this, so I won't have to cube rotate for that again later. So I do that by setting up this pair like that, cube rotating, solving that. And this will put me in a rough situation because I'll have both of my solved pairs in the front, but I can actually already tell that when I'm done with this pair will be set up for a 3-move insert into the back here, and you'll see what I mean. So I connect those, and then I can just cube rotate here, and yep, these two are set up perfectly. And I've got a really nice situation just on accident as well, because I've got all of my edges oriented. So I can just insert this edge, and then I will have probably a situation where I can do COLL again. Not really, because, well, I could do anti-Nicholas here, but I wouldn't always, and then U-perm. So yeah, by just keeping an eye on EO stuff can give you really easy solves and really nice last layers. Okay, here is another situation. So the first thing I see is this pair. That's probably what I do, and then I can keep that in mind. So here I'm going to do another smart cube rotation. So I'm solving this into the back left, do my Z rotation, and now I've got this, or let's see, or this. And I'm going to start with these two, which I'm going to do in sort of a block building way. So this is already made a block. This edge needs to go right here. So I'm going to take out this block, move over this edge to down there, move over my block to make a bigger block, and then insert that, which is just very convenient for everything. And here I can actually already tell I'm going to get some really nice EO. So I need to connect these two. When I do that, it will take out this edge, and my only misoriented edges are this one and this one. And when I connect these two, it will insert the misoriented edge into this slot, and then when I cube rotate to solve this pair, that will orient this edge. So now I need to cube rotate for this. And then at the same time that I do Z prime, I do Y prime, and then I've just got my last pair here. And then this is a bit of a nasty COLL. but it's a COLL nonetheless. So yeah. So here is my final example for this video. The best pair that I see is this pair, which will go into the back right. So I just connect it like usual, insert that, and that doesn't leave me anything excellent. I've got this, which I could do advanced F2L for, but I probably wouldn't do this because the look ahead would be hard, and look ahead is really crucial for one-handed because you're turning slow, so you might as well take advantage of it and take advantage of the easier look ahead. So I've got this, and I'm going to track these two. I've got them right here. I'm going to cube rotate to this angle, and I'm going to have a nice case for these two, I think. Yep. So then I cube rotate for that, and I solve these two, and I'm done with my F2L once again. So that just leads to my last layer. So I know this video was a little bit chaotic, but I hope it did a good job of showing you what OH F2L generally looks like and how I think about the things that I'm doing. I hope this video was informative and entertaining. If it was, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, share the video, and subscribe so you can see all of the future OH tutorials I'm going to make. My next one is going to be about one-handed cross, and I hope you guys are looking forward to that. That's all from me today. I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.